Hi, I'm Hope Bursch from Maryland Saddlery. Today we're going to talk about all-purpose saddles and why they sit you how they sit you. So let's look at that. See how the flap is way forward? That gets your leg out in front of you. But why does it put your leg out in front of you? Not because you stick your leg there, but because the stirrup bar and the seat are really far apart. And what that means is the stirrup, which is a pendulum, we talked about this in a different video, hangs where it wants to hang. And when you go to post or ride or anything and you step down, your leg will go where that pendulum tells you to go. So if that pendulum's hanging here, that's where your leg's going to be. If you're an equitation rider, it's going to be hanging up in here. So that's a different saddle. But this saddle, because it's an all-purpose saddle, has longer space between the stirrup bar and the sweet spot, which is the lowest part of the seat where the saddle maker determined it to be. Saddles are made with webbing underneath them. The webbing runs from front to back and side to side. By pulling down the webbing in the middle to the lowest point, that determines where your hiney goes, and you can't fight that. Between where they've chosen to put the stirrup bar and where the lowest part is for your rear end, that's where you're going to sit. So an all-purpose is going to make you sit backwards this way, no matter what you can do. You can try to get your leg up underneath you, but every time you post, it's going to come out forward. How do I know it's an all-purpose saddle? This is sticking out pretty far, but that can be a jumper saddle too, so not that. Most all-purpose saddles, and I'll say most because there are exceptions, have a rounded cantle. That's a really good way to tell. Luckily, most of the saddle making world has adhered to that standard. This saddle also is a good old Steuben, wool flocked. A lot of all-purpose are wool flocked, and a lot of close contacts are not. So if you want to ride on a trail ride, you want to go fox hunting, you want to sit and kind of comfortably on your rear end for longer periods of time, then all-purpose is really the kind of saddle you want to be in. It's also safer because your leg is in front of you in a defensive riding position. It takes longer to fall off. It sounds like a funny thing to say, but if your horse stops or props or wheels, you got your feet on the dashboard and you're going to land back on your rear end in the saddle and not fly over their head as you would maybe in a close contact. So next video we'll talk about close contact and dressage. See you then.